talk about Avantis because everybody knows the whole crypto market is crashing, but Avantis is going up. I know you see those gains, still 13.9% in the last 24 hours. In the meanwhile, all of cryptos, the whole crypto market is down. So we're going to talk about this anyways. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, that is financial advice. But let's talk about this because as you can see, the whole crypto market is getting liquidated. We're seeing everything selling off currently. But as you can see, Avantis is doing well, up 13.9% in the last 24 hours, 73% in the last 7 days, and 21, not 21, but 21 million still lots. But look, the volume, the 24-hour trading volume is at 6.4 billion still. So even though the market is going down, we still have the trading volume for Avantis. This is still bullish. It's bullish as long as that trading volume stays high like this. So if we start seeing that trading volume starting to weigh down and we start seeing this getting closer to below a billion side of trading volume, then we may actually see this thing start dumping. But until then, Avantis is going to keep being bullish. So it went extremely high. So if you look at the all-time high, Avantis reached $2.64 earlier today. It's down 22% since then, but it's still super bullish. And what's even crazier is 13 days ago, Avantis was at its all-time low, pretty much 2 weeks ago. It was at its all-time low of 18 cents. So this thing has absolutely exploded. It's just a super bullish project right now. Everybody is talking about it on Twitter, or as you like to call it, some people like to call it X. But yeah, this thing is going crazy. But let's talk about where Avantis is probably going next. So we did get rejected at this resistance, $2.40. It briefly got up to there, above there to $2.64, very briefly. But now it is back down. So what is in store next for Avantis? Well, first of all, if you look over here at the MACD here, you can see the MACD is selling off actively. You can see buyers are coming in to the MACD. Buyers are coming into the market here. And you can see that by the lightly green shaded candlesticks here. And you're also seeing the overbuying pretty much of the MACD. Now you're starting to see it curve downwards. So this might actually be the first major downtrend for Avantis. Yes, we did have a pretty big pullback here. It went from $1.50 something, $1.60 pretty much, down to 88 cents, down to 90 cents. So we could see a similar pullback here in Avantis, right? So let's see what the percentage was looking like on that previous pullback. And that could lead us to know how much we're going to pull back for this time. So let's go ahead and see that. So we're going to take this and we're going to bring it all the way down here to this Fibonacci. And that right there is a 43% drop. So we know Avantis got all the way up to here, right? About $2.64, give or take. If it were to drop another 43%, then we're pretty much looking towards this Fibonacci right here, which is about $1.56. And then the bottom area here, $1.28. So those are the levels that we're looking for. $1 and 50 or $1.60, $1.56, somewhere around there. I gotta scroll in on this because I like giving the exact number. So yeah, we're looking at a good $1.58, right? So that's what we're looking for our pullback. And if we get an even bigger pullback, then we're looking for about $1.30. So yeah, about $1.60 to $1.30 right now, give or take. And looking at the hourly chart, let's kind of look at our indicators here. So we haven't yet pulled all the way back, right? We haven't yet hit a solid foundation, a solid support, right? So that is why we could continue possibly to pull back. And this is a 43% drop. So this from here to here would be about 43% drop as well. This would be about 40% drop. All of this from here down to here is about 40%. So we could end up doing the same exact thing here inside of Avantis, having that pullback followed by another rally. So I think it's not too far-fetched to say that we'll pull back, but I can definitely say I think the rally is going to be imminent afterwards. Like, this thing is an absolute beast. Everything has to stop though. Everything has to come back and pull back. But we just have such a strong foundation for Avantis. So many people rallying behind it. It's going to be extremely hard for it to just die off. So a pullback could come, but I think it's still pretty bullish. Now, On the hourly chart, you can kind of see the buyers are already trying to step back in, right? You can already see the selling is slowing down a little bit, and the buyers are trying to step back in. This is the hourly chart. This is the MACD on the hourly chart. So that's what we're seeing here. And then if you look at the percent R trend exhaustion on the hourly chart, you can kind of see the short-term trend is all the way down, but the long-term trend is kind of now turning sideways a little bit. The last time we seen that was right about here. Started turning sideways, and then it started to go up from there. But it was a little bit different. It's a little bit different. So we have the possibility to pull back, pretty much what I'm saying. But you know, we're still overall bullish long term here inside of Avantis. This is just a hiccup. But yeah, the selling is definitely slowing down on the smaller time frames. But if you look at the larger time frames, then you would see something a whole lot different. Like if you look at the 4-hour chart, the buying is almost non-existent at that point on the 4-hour chart, and you can kind of see it here. Not almost non-existent, but it's waning down, right? We're going into it's going to eventually turn into this, and we're going to end up seeing that selling pressure coming in, right? So I do believe that, and always also remember with the MACD, this can be invalidated, right? If we just have a random pump out of nowhere, this can be invalidated. Like we can start seeing randomly more green candlesticks coming up. So you can't only go by the technicals, because fundamentally, like Avantis is solid. Like fundamentally, this thing could keep running, but technically, it should pull back. It should pull back technically, but fundamentally, I think this thing has some more room to go. Also, when you look at the shorter time frames, it still looks pretty bullish. So when you come over here, you can see the selling is slowing down a lot more. We could easily start to see the buyers coming in. You know, something similar to this where the selling stops and then, you know, just switches to buying pressure. So, you know, there's a huge possibility that this reversal comes sooner rather than later. And on the 30-minute chart, you know, it just looks like the percent R trend exhaustion is wanting to go back up with the trend. You can see the short-term trend is already coming back up. The long-term trend has kind of went sideways a little bit. So it could be something similar to this, where short-term trend comes up and then it helps bring the long-term trend back up. So I think all in all, this thing is still good. It's still bullish. Really wouldn't worry about it if it does continue to pull back. We are eyeing all the way down here at that support about $1.60. And look, this isn't me saying, hey, you should go buy Avantis. Like I never tell anyone to buy anything. Like, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Never tell anyone to buy anything. But the time to buy Avantis was all the way back here. Like, anyone thinking about getting in all the way up here, you're really like exit liquidity for the whales that bought in all the way back here. That's kind of what's happening now. Like, the whales are taking profits. That's pretty much the most simple way to take it, right? The whales are taking profits. It hit $2.64, and then the whales just started selling, and it dumped the price. That's as simple as you can put it. So anyone thinking of buying in all the way up here, you're kind of out of luck. Yes, it could keep going, but the risk to reward ratio it's not worth it at this point. You gotta wait a little bit. But yeah, on the short-term charts, it does look like everything wants to reverse. A reversal to the upside on the short term is definitely possible. So we could see this thing continuing a little bit higher from here. But yeah, this is all I got for y'all today. Hit the like button and subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and it's financial advice. Leave a comment in the comment section. And as always, I'll be back with another video.